What's up, you guys? Crypto Clay here, and today I really need your attention, and I need this video disseminated to as many people as possible to make sure that people aren't getting scammed out there. So today's video is going to be all about HEX. I have said in the past that I was going to do a review of HEX and what I thought of it, and today that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there immediately that I do believe HEX is a scam, that I don't think it's a legitimate crypto project. And I know you're gonna say,
Clay, I'm making so much money hand over fist right now with HEX and staking on their platform.
And that's great. I really hope that you continue to make money doing that if that's one of you out there. But as soon as you're staking, as soon as you're done staking on that specific contract, then I highly encourage you to take that money off of that contract and move it to something else, to a legitimate project. Okay, before I begin discussing reasons why I think that this is a scam, I'm just going to go ahead and play a few videos that I have found online that kind of back up my claim, but also just to show you how ridiculous some of this all sounds. The first thing I want to show you is a video titled "HEX Price Went Up 100x in 121 Days." Now, this is created by Richard Hart, the creator of HEX. So by implying this, he's basically saying that the price is going to continue to rise, so get in now while you still can. Let's go ahead and watch. Alright, so this is exactly what you don't want to go after. You don't want to go after things that are flashy, that look great, that sound great. This video is doing a very good job of pulling your attention in and explaining what they want you to see. So they want you to see that, oh, they've had tremendous gains and it's better than Bitcoin, and like they want you to get hyped about this project, and they're doing a great job of that with this advertisement. And I need you to understand that that's exactly what this is. This is an advertisement. It's nothing else. It's not giving you any solid information about what the project is, what it does, or where it's going. It's not a roadmap. It's nothing. It's literally just an advertisement of the product itself. So keep that in mind. The next thing that I wanted to show you was this video. This is actually Richard Hart at a conference giving a presentation.
In the real world, we care about holding. If you go to the bank, what are the top 3 most successful products at the bank? Savings account, checking account, time deposit, CD, certificate of deposit. You lock up your money, they give you a better interest rate. Do we have that in Bitcoin? Nope. Why? Because you can lock up your money, but you won't get any rewards. You won't get any benefits from it. You just won't be able to spend your money. That sucks. So what if we control the supply and create a smart contract that says when you lock up your money, you get all the inflation. You get all the new coins, not the miners. Now you're paying people to hold the price up because they can't sell the locked coins. In Bitcoin, you're paying miners to dump.
Okay, Richard, so what happens whenever the original holders who get done with their staking contracts decide to dump all of their funds onto the market? What happens to the price then, and what happens to the people that are staking in the middle term? So let's say you have somebody with millions of coins that are staking, and their staking contract ends. They go to dump that onto the market. What happens to the price? Well, then you have this CD this CD, I want to put that in quotations because I don't feel like this is a very good representation of what it is at all. It actually can decrease in value, which doesn't happen with a CD that you use at a bank. So if you put money into a CD at a bank and you leave it in there for the entire duration, it's going to grow in value. Your US dollars that you put in are going to grow in value. With this, you have the potential of having something that, yeah, you're inflating in HEX, you're getting more HEX, but what can you actually use HEX for? Absolutely nothing. HEX can't be used for anything. So essentially, what you're getting is less than what you put in if the price goes down. And at that point, you have to ask, is this just a savings account that can go down in value over time? Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You can call it a CD if you want, but that's not at all what it is. And something to back up my claims on that is the early withdrawal fees. The early withdrawal fees, that was a very sensitive topic for me because I was reading about something on Reddit. Somebody posted in the actual HEX subreddit saying, increasing emergency in-stake penalties. I've been considering an emergency in-stake due to unanticipated circumstances. For a week or two, I've been using hexstat.com to get an estimate of the percentage of my principal in HEX that would be lost, and I noticed that as my stake progress increases, so does the percentage of my principal that I would lose by emergency in-staking. I expected the penalty to decrease over time, not increase. Can someone explain this? And that kind of goes with something that I was thinking along those lines. If you go to the HexWin facts page and you look up some of the facts of this specific project, it becomes very clear that there are a lot of inconsistencies with the way things are run. So if you're staking, can I modify my stake? No. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but I think that's really strange. Can I add to my original stake? No. You must start a new stake. Can I increase the length of a stake before it expires? No. Again, all that's really strange to me. But the thing that I wanted to get to was right here. Can I end my stake early? Yes, it's called an emergency end stake, and it has a fee equal to the profit of half the days you committed to. This can hit your principal. This can hit your principal. Yes, it's called an emergency end stake, and it has a fee equal to the profit of half the days you committed to. So what happens if you put in 100,000 HEX and you put in a contract, a staking contract for 5,000 days? But in a month from now, an emergency happens and you have to pay for something immediately out of pocket. Well, you've only gone 30 days into that 5,000 day contract. That fee is going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You're going to lose so much of your principal. What really worried me about this, though, was the fact that he was saying that according to his calculations, his in-staking emergency in-staking penalty is going up over time, whereas the system is designed for the longer you hold, the lower that in-stake penalty should go. But that's not the case that we're seeing here. That's not what this user is saying. And I wanted to check this out myself. I wanted to go to hexstat.com and go hex win stake, but you can't even access these. You can't even use these programs unless you have MetaMask installed on your browser. So if you're not using MetaMask, you can't even use these. So I can't even show you guys what would happen here if I were to manipulate this, because I can't even use it. That in itself bothers me. There's no calculator online that I can find to say this is how much you'll gain over time. This is because it's all tied up in a smart contract that people have apparently legitimized through audits. I don't know how fair those audits were. I don't know if those people were getting paid to do these audits. I also don't know how accredited those auditors are. That's another thing that we should ask. But it's clear to me that this has scam written all over it. Just some more things on the HEX win page. The higher the Bitcoin price, the better. The rising tide lifts all boats. Only Bitcoin holders get free HEX. Okay, why? Why is that? Bitcoin is great. HEX reduces the billions lost to failed exchanges and schemes. To earn interest on Bitcoin, you must lend it out to others, which is risky. HEX pays interest directly, trustless interest. Okay, again, but this goes back to what if the value of HEX goes down? We know that the value of Bitcoin is most likely going to go up because of deflation, right? Every 4 years, Bitcoin rewards halve. So we know that the value has to go up for the miners to continue receiving profit. Otherwise, they probably won't mine. So we know that Bitcoin is most likely going to go up, whereas HEX just continues to inflate over time, and the value will probably drop, especially if people that were early on start dumping their bags. Then it's going to create a panic in the market, and everybody is going to start pulling out their funds and dump what they have onto the market, and the project is going to eventually go to zero because it doesn't solve anything. This is literally just a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. It's not a blockchain in itself, and I was reading on like some of these posts that they're calling it a chain. It's not. It's not, guys. It's literally just a smart contract on Ethereum, which, by the way, Richard Hart has talked very poorly about Ethereum in the past. So it's very interesting to me that he decided to put his project on the Ethereum blockchain. HEX mining is more censorship resistant than Bitcoin. Here's another thing that I really don't like about this. Saying that you're staking this is very misleading as well, because there are tons of proof of stake projects out there that allow staking, and those are legitimate projects. You want to talk about Tezos, you want to talk about EOS, you want to talk about Cardano, you want to talk about any of these other proof of stake projects, Harmony. All of those are legitimate proof of stake projects that allow you to stake on their blockchain and earn a reward for the work that is being done. No work is being done here, so where is this stake coming from, right? The reason that these other proof of stake projects get a reward is because you have validators that are securing the blockchain and creating these blocks that allow the blockchain to create that ledger, right? So if you aren't doing any of that, how can you honestly call it staking? It literally just goes back to, okay, you're putting money into a savings account, essentially. This smart contract is literally just a savings account that can go down in value over time and also has extremely high penalties for pulling out early. The last thing that I wanted to show you was an interview that Richard Hart was taking part in, and he mentioned something that was really, really strange to me, and I just want to point it out to you guys.
Listen, so telling them not to get scammed doesn't work. The law enforcement doesn't work. So what's the third thing left? Get to those people with advertisements to get their money out of their hands before the scammers do, and do it with an honest project. That's the only way to save these people, or outlaw all, like, any digital commerce kind of thing, I guess. But
Okay, so this is really interesting to me. Richard is basically saying that in order to save people from getting scammed in the cryptocurrency space, you have to take everybody's money out of their hands and put it towards an actual decent project. Which is really funny to me, because that kind of goes back to my point of, what does this project solve that others don't? It doesn't solve anything. It literally solves nothing. This project is a worthless token as far as I'm concerned. You can't spend it on anything. You can't use it to build anything. So what is the point of it? Taking money out of people's hands so that they don't get scammed does nothing if you're putting it towards something that is worth nothing. And that's exactly what I see as HEX. It's worthless. All these big videos that are flashy and have like a great message that get you pumped up for HEX, it's all noise, guys. It's all there to make you get into the market without asking questions. Because if you start asking questions, then you start to see that there are a lot of things that just don't add up. I would be interested to talk to Richard Hart about these early penalties, these early withdrawal penalties, and see what he has to say about this person that noticed that the penalty goes up over time and not down. I would love to know his explanation on that. Also, I would love to know why there's no calculator out there on the internet to give us an idea of what it would look like for us if we were to invest in something like this. It's just very strange to me that you have to have the HEX first in order to do anything with it. You can't you can't look and see about the project until you actually own the HEX. So by that point, you've already invested. You've already made them profit in order to look at these calculators. That just seems very fishy to me. And I don't encourage anybody to invest in this. In fact, I'd like you all to stay away from this if you're a viewer of mine. I know that some of my viewers are invested in this, and I'm sorry for calling something that you invested in a scam, but I have to call it like I see it. It's based on integrity, guys. Like, I could probably put money into this and make money right now because I would be one of the earlier adopters, right? But the people that get in later on, they're the ones that are going to be affected by the downturn. And we're already starting to see the price go down. So I'm wondering if people are already starting to dump in those initial contracts, right? The price has gone down from its all-time high over 40%. It's down 40% from its all-time high in May. So I'm wondering if that's because people in those initial contracts for staking are starting to sell off what they earned. That would be really interesting to do a deep dive on. That's not really something that I have too much time for right now, because I have no interest in this personally. I don't plan on investing anything, and I probably will continue to tell people to stay away from this project. But if you have any questions or concerns, or you just completely disagree with what I have to say, leave that in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love to know why you disagree with me. And please, if you're going to disagree with me, back up your claims as to why I'm wrong. I would love to see that. Just if you're going to post that it was audited by people that are much smarter than I am, then that's not really a very valid claim. So leave that to yourself. But if you have actual legitimate claims as to why I'm wrong, please post that in the comments below. If you liked today's video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. I will always do my best to educate you guys on what I think are good, solid projects, what I think are projects that you should stay away from, scams that are currently in the market, and just all around tech news. That's mainly what my channel is all about. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe and you'll know immediately whenever I post a new video. That's going to be it for today, guys. Crypto Clay out.